Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Get to the Red Raiders at 7 this morning as they get ready for Arkansas Pine Bluff at 6:30 on August the 30th. 6:45 this morning. It is this day in sports history. And next, we'll talk a little Micah Parsons.
The Morning Drive on Double T 97.3.
It's like if I don't hit the button, we won't have to talk about it.
Yeah, let's break down Arkansas Pine Bluff instead.
Well, I think you'll find these comments from Jerry Jones. You might find them fascinating or interesting.
Unless he says, I'm selling the team, or we sign Micah Parsons to a contract to end this horrible, terrible national nightmare. Or we've traded him.
No, none of those things.
Have we spent one single segment talking about like the Cowboys' strengths and weaknesses, and
I think we have
how we think they're going to be? I mean, we've kind of gone over their schedule a couple times and made predictions, but
it's the drama right now. All right, so, but to answer your question, probably could do a better job of that.
I mean, it's just not been the topic because when you're talking about the Cowboys, we're always focused on something else because that's what they want you to focus on.
It takes all the oxygen out of the room. So the Dallas Morning News reached out to the Cowboys about potential trades, and Micah Parsons said this: "My mouth closed." Jerry Jones said yesterday, and the Cowboys are getting ready to break camp tomorrow because, as Jeff said in the Sports Center, they play the Ravens on Saturday. We'll have the game for you at 5, kicks at 6 from Arlington. Jerry Jones was asked about contract talks, and he said this: "I don't know if necessary talks will, but we've got a game coming up, and he's under contract." Okay, we've got a game coming up, and he's under contract. Again, really nothing, Jerry said, on what's preventing talks from occurring. Jones also indicated he's under no deadline to get a deal done because he's right. He's under contract, and apparently Jerry said repeatedly, Micah Parsons is under contract. Yes. And then he says this, so remember this for the future, ladies and gentlemen. All you've got to go on are contracts, and we are negotiating for a contract. When you do a contract, you would hope after a negotiation, that's what both the team and the player look to see what the obligations are. So I have a lot of respect for a contract. And then he says this with regard to his, quote, hold in during training camp practices. He's undergone treatment for back tightness, Micah Parsons has. Jones says this: "Again, I'm glad he's here. It's important for the team, teammates, but it's important for him to be picking up all the coaching and nuances, and osmosis is a very big thing." And he's been handling that part of it. Osmosis is a very big thing.
Which means what, Jack?
It's just like just being there and just kind of being around to soak it in.
Creating chemistry with your teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're also watching when they're installing new things or whatever.
I mean, just kind of being around is at least you're a part of it, right? But how about getting on the field, and hitting, actually going through the plays themselves so that you've got...
Well, he can't do that right now. His back is bad, right?
It's stiff. It's stiff. Yeah. My back's stiff. Can't do that. Can't be a part of that. I mean, Jerry makes a great point. It's just that why didn't you make this point 6 months ago? Hey, Micah, you got a contract. We're not doing anything until this contract is up.
Is that been said by Jerry to Micah?
Well, he's that's what he was talking about yesterday.
He's saying, I mean, that sounds like we're not renegotiating now.
That's what it sounds. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like to me like he's like, "Hey, we've got a contract."
Yeah, well, Micah Parsons needed to know that ahead of time, I guess. If we're going to all of a sudden, hey, you have a contract, we're not touching this. And if you're doing that, you're also basically saying we're not going to sign you.
Next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Timeout. A week ago, wasn't Jerry upset that they'd had negotiations and that they'd had that they'd had stuff situated with Mike?
So clearly that's not true.
Yeah.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Jeff.
Just wondering.
Absolutely
Just
right.
thought I'd ask a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've talked about new deals, right?
We had a handshake a week ago. Now we've got a contract. We've got respect for contracts. But a week ago,
handshake deal and negotiate.
Yeah. He's talking on both sides of his mouth.
Should have worn boots today. Should have worn boots today because it's getting pretty thick.
He doesn't have a clear answer as to why talks haven't restarted with his lead negotiators and Parsons' agent. I think he says, again, really nothing. He just keeps saying he's under contract. He's under contract. He's under contract. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. History would say that Jerry talks tough about a contract, holds out to the 11th hour, then flops an unbelievable, terrible deal, and acts like that was his plan.
I'm glad we've got Chuckling Chuck back.
Yeah.
It's Cowboys drama. Here come the giggles again.
If it is
yes, I completely agree with that text.
Yeah. If it is sincere, good for an owner who holds someone to their contract. If the players want a better situation, they need a better union. Well, like I said, I mean, that's
he's clearly been negotiating. They've clearly been negotiating.
They've had.
So it's not like from the get-go. He said, no, you have a year left on this deal. We're not done. And again, the reason that he's not doing that is because because that would anger Micah Parsons. And you would basically saying, we're going to let you walk after this year.
Yeah. I mean, they've got him.
He's a great player. You'd like to keep him in the mix.
Yeah. They've got him right now. They've got him on a and Micah Parsons, you would think at some point in time, somebody's going to cry uncle, right, about this season? Because Parsons isn't going to walk away from the literally millions of dollars because Cowboys aren't going to pay him.
Yeah, he's scheduled to make like 21 this year. Yeah.
So you would think at some point in time he would be like, okay, I just got to eat my blank sandwich here and know that if I don't get paid this year, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And I just got to keep myself from getting hurt. So that's where the old stiff back comes in. I got a stiff back.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know? Man, what a mess. What a mess.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Here on the Morning Drive, time for this day in sports history. Today is Thursday, August the 14th, 2025. We are 16 days away from football season. So, 15 sleeps. Here's Jeff McGuire.
Oh, there's going to be naps. There's going to be naps between now and then. You can have a few more sleeps.
Okay.
I mean, not like full rested night sleeps, but there's naps. Don't discount the nap. 1959. First American Football League meeting is held in Chicago. Charter members: Dallas, New York, Houston, Denver, Los Angeles, Minneapolis, St. Paul. The AFL is named the following week. 1981. Phillies' Mike Schmidt hits his 300th career home run off of New York Met Mike Scott. I'd forgotten he was with the Mets.
Yeah, I think he got traded. He got traded later in 1980, right before the trade deadline, which would have been like, and that would be the playoff roster, which I think is the end of August back in those days to Houston.
1987. Oakland A's Mark McGwire sets a rookie home run record at 39 en route to 49 that year.
Wow. Pretty big rookie year.
You look at him then, and he was the Team USA size kid, Had a really good swing, had some power for sure, but he
hit 49 homers as a rookie.
Well, no, what I mean, he wasn't skinny, but he wasn't superhero that he was toward the end of that. We should have known.
I think we did.
I don't think we... Not all of us. Some of us were very surprised. 1991. Minnesota Twins, Dave Winfield is the 23rd player to have 400 career home runs.
Way to go, Big Dave.
Just one quick correction on Mike Scott. He was traded to the Astros for Danny Heap at the winter meetings on December 10th, 1982. So he would finish out the 81 year, and then he went to the Astros and started with them in the 83 season.
2017, former Red Raider Chad Bettis makes his first appearance since being diagnosed with cancer. Goes 7 innings of shutout ball in a 3-0 win over the Braves. And in 2024, New York Yankees slugger Aaron Judge hits his 300th career home run in a 10-2 win over the White Sox in Chicago. He reaches the milestone faster than Ralph Kiner in games and Babe Ruth in at-bats. I'll be honest, when I saw what today's food was, I'm like, I like these, but I didn't want one, and now I kind of do. It's National Creamsicle Day.
Creamsicle or dreamsicle?
Cream. C-R-E-A-M.
Is that the orange with the cream?
Orange with the white, yeah.
Okay.
Didn't want one waking up this morning. Now I kind of want one.
Jamie, are you in on the creamsicle?
They're good.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're not my first choice. They're probably not my fourth choice, but now I kind of want one.
They're not your fourth choice.
They're probably not my fourth choice.
Okay.
I go ice cream over popsicles, almost 10 out of 10 times. Happy birthday to Halle Berry, who's 59. Magic Johnson, 66. Steve Martin is 80. Tim Tebow, 38. And Catherine Bell is 57. And on this day, 1935, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt signs into law the Social Security Act. Press photographers snapped pictures of as FDR, flanked by ranking members of Congress, signed into law the Historic Act, which guaranteed an income for the unemployed and retirees. FDR commended Congress as he considered it to be a patriotic act. And that is this day in sports history.
This day in sports history. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. This is in response to my comment that it was over for the Rangers. And the guy says, dude, 10 days ago, you were talking about the Rangers making the playoffs. He used to comment after dude. I appreciate that. And then there's a response to that from somebody else that said, that is par for the course for this station, and more specifically, Chuck Heinz. He misspelled my name. He needs to put his money where his mouth is with his 10-win season talk with a bet payoff. You have to have tiebreakers to determine the loser, but I hope and pray every day it's Chuck, and he has to wear a Little Red Riding Hood uniform to Lady Raider games. We can use it as a, quote, conversation starter. He did properly put the quote after the period. A Little Red Riding Hood uniform for a 10-win season. The tiny wheel stuff, that's on the end of the bench. Right.
That's one of their deals.
That's one of their deals,
It's kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, we try not to steal from other shows. I don't want to steal their thunder. I mean, there's things that have been stolen from other shows. There's no doubt. Sometimes it's really good stuff. So kind of take the good and leave the bad. To me, that's good for them, but be bad for us. Somebody else says, just do the Dan Patrick pie to the face bet. Are you familiar with that? What they do on Dan Patrick?
I'm not, but I can figure it out with the pie to the face bet.
Yeah. You make a bet, and then how many pies to the face are you going to take for that bet? Would you
see? Some of this comes from me being the fat guy. Why waste the food? Cut the pie up. Let's have some. I don't want to throw it in somebody's face. I want to eat it.
Right. Because there's only so much of that you could still use, right? Because if it falls on the ground, plus it would get kind of messy. You have to do it outside. 6:51 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Warning Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com for that of the mobile app. We had a text early on this morning. I'm gonna take this as fact. This from Lee, who says, FYI, not to get ahead of ourselves, but conference championship tickets go on sale today. Wonder what's your...
No matter what, we're still going to have the game. The Big 12 championship game will in fact be played.
Right. But
you can buy tickets if you want to go to the game.
Anybody thinking about getting tickets today? Buying tickets today?
I think this would be a smart idea. I mean, you're one of the 2, 3, 4 teams that are favored by most to be there. Mm-hmm. And probably a decent chance that if that doesn't happen, that you would be able to sell them on the secondary market.
Yeah.
So it seems like it would be a smart choice for some Red Raiders.
Yeah. Of course, you don't know what's
probably line up a hotel room too that you could drop if you needed to.
Yeah, I think it could be one of those things too. I was just looking to see what time that game is. I think it's an early game.
I think so too.
I think it's like an 11 a.m. kick or something like that, which means that you could, drive in and drive out if you wanted to.
Why would you do that?
Well, it's just you could.
You do that a lot?
I have done that. Not driven in. Yeah, well, I've driven in and driven out for a game.
Yeah, you and I did TCU once.
Yeah, we did that once. Yeah. That's a one-time only deal, right?
Yeah, probably. We had fun.
We did have fun.
Yeah, we had a good time.
We did have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we set a precedent that I don't know that will ever be broken in the first hour. We said ligament 13 times in one segment.
Huh?
See, we haven't said it again, but you keep...
Well, no, in the first segment. First segment, 13 times.
I know, right. We haven't said it again.
I know. We'll never break that 13th time.
Well,
I don't know that we've said Red Raiders 13 times in one segment before. That's impressive on our part. It was history-making show.
Here we are, and we're just an hour in. Okay, we got 2 more fun-filled, fact-oriented sports talk radio programming to go.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Thank you for being with us today with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Before I get too distracted, I want to do this. We've got some tickets that we'll be giving away to the 64th annual Tech Night Kickoff, which will be a week from Saturday. Gates open at 5. It will be a pulled pork sandwich plus fries plus a dessert. There's drinks available, and we have complimentary tickets courtesy of the Knights of Columbus for the 64th annual Tech Night. So give us a call at 806-771-0973. We'll just take caller number 1, okay? Make it nice and simple.
How many tickets?
And we'll do 4 tickets, okay? So you can take you and your buddies. Kids 12 and under get in free. It is a family event. It's at the Knights of Columbus Hall. We used to call it 1585. Now we call it 130th Street. It's between Quaker and Slide, about halfway down. And it's always a good time. Coach Joey McGuire will speak. His 2 coordinators will speak as well. And there'll be plenty of folks there that you know, and palms and cheers, and other coaches will be there kind of just hanging out. There's an auction. So at any rate, your opportunity to go. If you haven't got tickets yet, they've got them on Eventbrite. So you can buy them through Eventbrite. Just make sure it's sort of the 64th annual Tech Night Kickoff, which is one of those mile markers that we go through.
Auction is always my favorite part.
Okay.
Yeah, they got good stuff there for the auction.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun.
Coach McGuire signs the football.
See you high rollers up there.
Right. Yeah. Right. So that'll be fun. The Red Raider Club kickoff luncheon is next week, and so at any rate, You look 7:17 this morning here on the morning drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to WT973.com for that. So that's coming up a week from Saturday. All right, couple things here from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Chuck is correct. Education funding is always the lie. The lottery is corrupt, and gambling will corrupt sports, both professionally and college. Well, always done that. Check out NBA point shaving. Okay. Chuck, it's because everything is about money now. No morals, no nothing. They'll stab you in the back for $1. Just the way of this crappy world. While we are legalizing gambling, we need to legalize marijuana first. Okay. Don't know about that.
Okay.
Wouldn't necessarily be in that ballpark. Okay, so and men's basketball did this last year for Texas Tech. They announced who would be available, or really who wasn't available. Because if you're available, I mean, it's obvious, right? It was more about who wasn't available, and that came into play with Darion Williams and JT Toppin to a certain degree, but Williams for the most part, and maybe Elijah Hawkins. That name. Am I remembering wrong on that?
I was just at the beginning of the season. He missed the first few games.
Yeah. For women's basketball, that was not the case. And just to be, full disclosure, there'd be times that, especially on the road, where we'd go to shoot around and we'd see somebody not shooting, and we'd be like, oh, okay, is so-and-so not playing today? No. So...
I'm sure they didn't announce that just because, just being quite honest, there wasn't that much interest from the media.
Yeah, no, and I think the other thing too is that's just, I mean, whether there was or there wasn't. I mean, that was even if there was, I don't think that there was going to be an announcement on that. But
I mean, media members were asking for men's basketball.
Sure. Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just
the radio broadcast crew needs to know. But
I mean, my point was, it's not like there were times when it was like, oh, okay, so and so's not playing. Oh, okay, that's interesting, and didn't necessarily know why, and that's fine. It is what it is. But now both the men's and the women's basketball teams will have their availability reports available the night before each game. Okay, so that's a little bit different for the men in terms of what Texas Tech did last year, because last year it was roughly I guess the afternoon. It seemed like that would come out before.
Yeah, available the night before, but you're not going to be certain of it until the next day, right? How many times we'll see if he goes through warm-ups and if he can handle the pain and all that. So, I mean, again, to me, this is you're giving those guys an opportunity to know ahead of time. You were complimenting Coach McGuire about being honest if a guy's going to be out or not being out and all that good stuff. Well, I as far as I'm concerned, the longer he can hide that information to create an advantage over an opponent, the better.
Yeah, my point was more about the season-ending stuff. Is really what I really should have said there. Is that it's more about the season ending is where you really know that somebody's out as opposed to being out. But I guess there's a part of me that's like, I'm glad to know this, but then there's the other part of me that's like, why is this out there? Is it truly because of the gambling, or is it?
What other reason could there be?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, and it's like
the more it's become mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't have an issue with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that college coaches are going to take it super serious.
Mm-hmm.
The first, when you have to for football, what's the first day for football they have to announce?
3 days out.
3 days out. Yeah, I just don't think they're going to take it real serious. Maybe they will the day before,
mm-hmm.
And then the day of. But other than that, I just don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to go up and down the roster and be like, okay, I'm going to make him probable. I'm going to make him questionable.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with doubtful for him. They're not going to do that.
How long before somebody lists everybody's day-to-day? Everybody on the roster.
Well, I don't think day-to-day is not listed here. Is available, probable, questionable, conference. Doubtful, or out.
Yeah.
There's no day-to-day. Okay.
Cliff Kingsbury will be very upset.
There's no, who he is when he trots out there category. I just wonder if, ESPN. Okay, let's just blame it on ESPN and their gambling app, and they're fully invested now. DraftKings fully invested now. I just wonder if that pressure was put on the Big 12 and other conferences to do this.
Yeah, I don't know. Have we heard other conferences doing the same thing?
The Big Ten does this. I think the SEC does this. I don't know if it's to the same degree. But
knowing Brett Yormark, he's thinking, hey, we want people interested in paying attention to our sport and gambling on our games, just like the SEC and the Big Ten's getting. So why not do that?
Yeah.
It's not for the fans. It's not for the media.
No.
It's for the gamblers. And again, I don't have a huge issue with it.
I don't know. I seem to be more bothered by it.
This is going to be one of those things where the SIDs are filling it out more than the coaches are.
Sure, and it's one more task for them.
Sure.
Are you surprised that baseball's not included in this?
No, there's not as much interest, just like the women's basketball.
Yeah,
thing
I just wonder why did they put in the women just because they did the men? Probably.
Probably. I'm sure there's people that are hardcore betting on SEC women's basketball.
Okay. More so than baseball?
I don't know.
It just seems that seemed odd to me. Fantasy football may be another reason to release player status.
Yeah, I can only imagine how much Tim Tadlock would hate this.
Oh, yeah.
And how he would be intentionally misleading with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Tadlock doesn't like announcing his starting rotation for the weekend.
It's about the money. I don't know. I feel like it seems to me, and I don't like guns being held to heads, okay? It just feels like that somebody held a gun to the Big 12's head and said, you will do this.
Yeah, this seems more of a Brett Yormark thing to me.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Got Chuck guessing over here.
Yeah,
he's on the edge of his seat.
That's
with
dangerous.
Anticipation
Yes.
of what I am going to ask him today. All right, it's going to involve Texas Tech football, but not really.
Okay.
Yes, but no. This one is wide open. Which is good.
I feel like that we excel at these.
Okay. Wide open. If you could change one thing, the way that Texas Tech does football game day, atmosphere, their fans, the stadium, whatever, how the team runs out onto the field, who in their right mind would change that?
Right, no.
Anything with the way Texas Tech does game day, what would you change? How the fans react when they show up, I don't know.
No, I got it. I'm kind of going through my mind here of my own personal routine.
I'm getting excited about a couple weekends from now, and we're having our first Saturday of the year, and sometimes I think the atmosphere is great. Other Saturdays, I think it's a ghost town around the stadium later than I would expect, and it's a late arriving crowd. Other days, I think we've had great attendance at these concert series that have come in. I think
they've done an awesome job with that.
Got the fans excited that way. I think the new green space over there has been used well, and you see a lot of people there. It can be something that's going on inside the stadium. It can be something going outside the stadium.
Well, I would love to say like some specific thing during game day that bothers me. There's not anything that I know they aren't always trying to do that they are out of control of. Like, I am a huge fan of a flyover. I know they try to have a flyover every game. I know that for a fact, that they try to have a flyover every game. It just doesn't always work out. That's not Tech's fault. There's some things like that. I don't always enjoy the music, but I always like that they have the music there. And I think that has alleviated some of the crowd showing up late, because they're going to the concert and then going to the game, like the timing of that.
Especially the students. The students have definitely energized the West Side with going to the Engineering Key. So
we've gotten rid of the late arriving crowd mostly. If it's a game, we all know what those are, and then that accepts. But when we get to the medium to bigger games, the crowd is showing up, and they're staying past halftime. You're seeing more and more of that every week as you continue to win football games like you'd expect. What I wish they would do, and this might be completely off base here, I wish they would do a watch party in Jones Stadium for away games. You put the game on the big screen. You charge tickets to get in. You've got a small concession stand. Treat it like a spring game type thing. Have anybody sign waivers if they're going to be on the field. Let kids throw a football down there. I think that could be a fun avenue for away games that I'm sure would be in 1,000 times legal trouble that would not be worth it, which is why they don't. But that would be something I wish they would add.
I don't know. It seems like legally they could get away with doing that.
There's going to be something somewhere that someone's going to get sued because somebody trips and twists an ankle on the field.
Well, that could happen at a home game.
Yeah.
Well, no, like on the field. Like kids running around the field playing football.
Something they used to do before the start of the season in the summertime is they had a movie night at Jones Stadium, and that was always really cool. We went to that a few times. Okay, two things. And one, somebody's mentioned on the West Side. I wish that we would just put a middle figure at the Big 12 and bring back the third down clickers. The third down clickers, when I first came to Lubbock, I thought that was really cool. That when you got to, was the third down clicker a thing when you were in school, Jamie? Do you remember that?
I don't ever remember it.
Okay, yeah. So that's an early 90s thing. But they had these clickers that they would either sell or hand out, and they sold them, and then like part of the funding went back to Saddle Tramps or something like that. But when you got third down and you were on defense, everybody clicked, and you'd hear like this massive sound throughout the stadium. Much like they've got the paddles at Oklahoma State, and those got grandfathered in somehow or another. So I would like to bring back that. The other thing is, and look, I would love for this to be better, but somebody says, I miss the West Side parking lot full of tailgaters. Yeah, I do too, but I mean, every one of those spots is now sold at a pretty high premium, and while people are tailgating, and they do I do miss the kind of the old guard, rank and file fan. I mean, I remember my first football game at Texas Tech. I pulled up and I said, hey, where do I park? And the guy said to me, sir, them first two rows over there, and this is behind the old press box, them first two rows, those are reserved for our donors. I'm like, okay, what about the rest of the parking lot? It's wide open. And you could park wherever you wanted to on the West Side. But, look, I understand the economics of things.
And then a T-Rex walked by. Jamie, what would you change?
I mean, things that are impossible to change. Like, I wish all the action that was going on in the Engineering Key was going on in the West parking lot. Mm-hmm. And so close to the stadium, it was packed with people. You saw more. Yeah. Now, you still get a ton of tailgating now in the West parking lot, so you still see a ton of people there, but just the excitement all in one place would have been cool. We also know there's people that are still tailgating over by basketball and by soccer and all that, and it would be awesome if that was all in one place. But that's not really doable. I'm not really someone that ever complains about this kind of stuff very much, so I really don't have anything that I like look at and go, man, I hate how we do that, or I don't like how we do this. I wish we could sing the school song without 4-letter words in it. Yeah, that is probably the one thing that embarrasses me as a Red Raider fan. That I mean, I want people, beat for doing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, let's just put a bunch of security guards over there in the student section with paddles and let's just start whacking away with people who sing it wrong.
Beat the bejesus out of them.
But let's keep Jesus in them. Okay. I think probably if they had more Jesus in them, they'd sing it right. Okay?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha. Madeline Mack wants to bring back the masked rider waving the flag on top of the South End Zone building. It's actually the North End. And he was called Roof Raider.
Roof Raider.
I loved Roof Raider. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have a great atmosphere now. I don't really
I do too.
much I can complain about.
There's not
the
a
South End Zone really looks cool.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. It's great to have you with us today here this morning on the Morning Drive. Thoughts and comments, the Yates Flooring Center chat line, Visual Edge IT hotline, it is open as well at 806-771-0973. We come to you from the First United Bank studio. I'm fascinated with this George Webb deal. I just clicked on the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. That's their local paper there. And I see pictures like from 1948 and 1987. The actual name of this place, Jamie, is George Webb Hamburger Parlor. I love that. That's pretty cool. Hamburger Parlor. Okay. I wonder if they probably have a lot of, different kinds of burgers and things like that. But,
it's a burger parlor. You would think so.
Yeah, right. And, they've put it out there that they're going to announce details today at noon. Okay. And they've made it clear they're going to do this. And this has been apparently going on for decades. They did put a tweet out that said burgers will not be ready right away. A special giveaway date will be announced tomorrow with all the details. Stay tuned.
No issue with that whatsoever. They got to get ready for the influx.
Right. Yeah. Right. No issue with any of that. So anyway, there's you. That's pretty cool.
They got to get staff there. Mm-hmm. They've got to get the burgers there. They've got to get the buns there. Mm-hmm. You don't want to show up and then be out on free burger day.
I mean, man, how would you like to be the burger salesman for George Webb? Don't you think he's like Giddy or she's like Giddy?
Oh, sure.
The salesperson that sells all the burgers to George Webb. Because there's somebody that does that. They'll have semis backing up to all the George Webbs. Just loaded with patties and buns.
What wouldn't surprise
pickles and ketchup and everything.
Yeah, what wouldn't surprise me is if whoever their supplier is, when they get this huge order, hey, we need to double our order of burgers for the week, and I need that today. Right. To get ready for this. They'll be like, why so many burgers? And they share the situation, and they'll be like, you know what? We're going to cut this price in half and donate this to a charity, and we're going to have trucks out there with guys helping you. Mm-hmm. Make this just a giant event to celebrate life and baseball and burgers.
Yeah. There are 20 George Webb locations across the greater Milwaukee area, or in the metro Milwaukee area. Okay. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Okay, so here's a challenge, Jamie. Here's a challenge. We should challenge one of our local restaurateurs, okay, that if the Red Raiders win 12 in a row, because that's how many regular season games that you have for football, that it's free pizza, free tacos, free tamales, free burgers, free something. Wouldn't that be cool?
It would be cool. Very cool. Mm-hmm.
Put a little steak with a sizzle there, Raise the expectation. Hey, you win 12 in a row, Coach McGuire. I can hear it right now. Hey, Red Raiders, this is Coach Joey McGuire. We win 12 in a row, and blank is going to give you blank. Let's go. Let's do it. How about that? Okay. Get Coach McGuire in here to cut a commercial. It's Joey McGuire. Red Raiders, we are expecting a great season. The pressure is on, and we embrace pressure. That's why so-and-so is saying, we win 12 in a row, we're going to give you a free blank. Let's go. I can hear it now. Blasted all over the airways.
I feel like it works better for baseball than football.
Probably. Okay. If it was, then it would be, it's Tim Tadlock. We win 12 in a row.
I'm not trying to change the coast. I'm just saying that the sport of baseball, you play more games. It's
sure.
It's difficult to win 12 in a row. Like teams that are winning 12 in a row are dominant college football teams. Right?
Yeah, right. We win 12 in a row, man. We're in Arlington. We're playing for. We don't want 12. We want 13. If we don't, then we get 13. We want 14. Then 15. Then 16. Then we're having a big parade down Broadway, and we're tossing babies in the air and everything, Jamie. It's a big celebration. I can see it now.
It would be a large celebration if you got to 16-0.
Yeah. This from the...
And worry about the children of Lubbock County, though.
Yates Flooring Center chat line. Chuck's on another level this morning. Okay. Yeah. This free 12-pack of beer for 12 in a row. Maybe. Let's see. One. So we have one M and we have one. Okay, or maybe that's one I or one L. I don't know, but one. Is that an L or an I?
One or the other.
It's one or the other. Yeah, that was good.
You got my joke.
I did. I got it.
All right, Jeffy got one of my jokes.
How about a da-da? Do we get a da-da? That's the wrong one. There we go. Yeah, there we go.
Never good enough.
Never good enough, right?
Just shocked. I'm shocked.
Yeah, it's like that old saying, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth because it will taste just fine after the grill. Yeah, right. Nobody pre-plans parades like Chuck. Yeah. We don't throw babies in the air. We light scooters on fire. Okay.
He throws babies like Chuck.
Get loud today. Let's get loud today, Chuck. Let's go. I think that's a shot. I don't think that's a compliment.
He's definitely gotten loud.
Yeah, I got a little excited there. I got a little
fired up.
Got a little fired up, right?
Got a little Joey Maguire in him.
Beggars can't be choosers. What's the cost of beef? This could only be considered a generous gesture. Yeah. Your question of the day is, what would you like to change for the game day experience? And we really couldn't come up with a whole lot. Frankly, it's an awesome game day experience. I talked about the clickers. People talked about the band music. You talked about.
What did people say about the band music?
There's a song, and I'm not familiar with it. Jeff might know this song.
They want to hear the band over the music being played.
Well, that, and then there was another. They said "Bring Back Higher Ground" as the song to leading up to the team coming out. The crowd with their guns up in unison was awesome.
Did they change that?
I don't know.
I thought it was a mix of like 3 different songs that they do there every time. I could have sworn that was still used. Yeah. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
I had one other thought that came to my mind, but it's not game day related. And somebody says, and this is why Chuck I am in marketing still. This person says, I'm in. Okay.
What's your restaurant, sir? Because that's who needs to be
What's your restaurant? I have no appointments today after 10 o'clock. I'm certainly available.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.